Oregon visits Washington this Saturday evening. Right now, we're joined with college football analyst Joe Gavassi to get his free selections on the game. Now, Joe, we've got a very interesting situation with this matchup because a lot of people expected big things out of Oregon this season. Now they're sort of looking like they're throwing in the towel on their season. Then there's Washington, who some professionals at the beginning of the season told me they expected this team to play like a high school team. And then they turn around and they're causing upsets against big teams like USC, which is exactly why this line for Washington puts them at the favorite here at -3 in this game. But, Joe, what's the smart play on this game?
Well, let's talk about where that line is, first of all. This line is arguably more than 2 touchdowns more, edging toward 3 touchdowns from where it would have been the opening week of the season because, as you point out, these teams have headed diverse directions from where they were projected to be. As a microcosm, we can look at the events of the last 10 days. Washington, a week ago Thursday night, goes in and beats USC outright as a 17-point dog, 17-12. Meanwhile, Oregon, who looked as if they turned their season around with a big second half at Colorado, totally tanks, losing by 7 points to Washington State in overtime as a 17-point favorite. Now Oregon is failed to the number by over 100 points against the spread. Only North Texas is worth in that regard, and they just fired their coach. Oregon is at a crossroads here. There's no question about that. And we'll know shortly into the game whether they have anything left at all. Washington is a young team, and they're rebuilding under Peterson. But we have to take a look at this history first. History was often a major indicator in handicapping college football in the 80s and 90s. When teams played consistently year after year with the same coach. Oregon, in the last 10 years, has won this game every time, and they've won it by 17 or more points. They have been favored by an average of 18 points in the game, with every line 10 or more points. And now they're an underdog? I don't think so. Oregon, a huge value play. In your history book, play of the week, take the Oregon Ducks as underdog against the team they've dominated.
Excellent insight from one of the best college football analysts, Joe Gavassi. Thanks again for being back with us.